I get messages from people, as I'm sure you all are aware, and what I don't generally talk about are the details in those messages. As far as I'm concerned, those emails and those messages are very private matters that people share with me, for which I'm honored. But it occurred to me that I also get messages from people that compliment me, that offer their support. And I got a message from someone that said, you typically only say, I really appreciate it, thank you very much. And it was a legitimate question. And I decided I wanted to address why that is. When it comes to being called hateful names, when it comes to people treating me with disrespect or with ugliness, I've got that down to science. In other words, I still have my human moments where I have to contend with that momentary flash of what the hell. I get it. So I've got that down. In other words, over the years I have developed my own personal process and my own little way of contending with willful ignorance, with voluntary hate. I've got that down. In other words, they don't take my joy. Not anymore. Now that isn't to say that some days are more difficult than others, but for the most part, such things don't really bother me all that much. But it wasn't until I got a message recently that I realized that this is all a growing process. This is as far as I've come, I do know that there's still areas that I need to work on. And one of those is compliments. When you haven't felt good about yourself, literally for a majority of your life, the transition from thinking of yourself as ugly, as a piece of shit, as worthless, as something unlovable, as broken, as literally as waste, the transition from that view of yourself and that perspective to being able to love yourself, to appreciate yourself, to be kind and gentle and loving to yourself. It's not necessarily the easiest of processes. But it occurred to me when I started this whole thing with Kick Rocks, the idea was just to go and to try to inspire people to love themselves, which I do. And because I really hadn't encountered anything like I've encountered before, as I am now, from so many of you, I didn't even know that I still had this little thing to contend with. I mean, imagine that I think that I'm fairly well versed. I think I'm fairly articulate, reasonably intelligent, and so long as we were keeping it on that intellectual side and that emotional side from that perspective, I was good to go. But the overwhelming support that I have received, it is truly appreciated. And if I haven't been as responsive or as demonstrative as I probably could have been, it's because I'm not used to it. That's the truth. And the reason I'm sharing this is because this is what sexual abuse does to people. This is what rape does to people. This is what body shaming does to people. This is what hate does to people. Yeah, we can defend ourselves verbally and outwardly most of the time. But over a period of time, it takes its toll. I was fortunate in that someone showed me how to love myself. I want to be that person for someone else. But I also want to be honest and transparent and understand that for so many of us, it wasn't an easy transition. And I'm not going to tell anyone that it's going to be an easy transition. But I do want to be a living testament that it is so worth it. Because I never, in my wildest dreams, thought that I would meet such amazingly kind and wonderful people who considered me the way that they have. And for that, I I am just truly thankful, and I hope that I represent and I hope that I represent all of us in a way that makes you all proud and happy to be associated with me, because I certainly am.